Hi, Beau. How you doing,
Pretty
sir?
good. Can you hear me?
Oh, you sound wonderful.
Oh,
Outstanding.
excellent.
Outstanding. Yes, thank you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is finish the intro and then we'll go live. Okay, sir?
It sounds good to me.
Okay, I'm going to mute your mic.
Welcome to the Hollis Chapman Show, where we celebrate the power of words and the beauty of storytelling. Join us every week. We have conversations with authors and small business owners. We have exciting lineup of guests who will take us on a literary journey like no other. Join us as we delve into the world of authors and small business owners from diverse backgrounds and cultures, each bringing their own unique perspective and voice to the table. From thrilling memoirs to captivating fiction and business startups, our guests will share their stories, their struggles, and their triumphs, offering us a glimpse into the rich tapestry of human experience. Immerse yourself in the magic of words and discovery as we explore the global literary landscape together. So grab a cup of tea, cozy up by the fire, and join us on this adventure of a lifetime. The Hollis Chapman Show is your ticket to a world of imagination, inspiration, and enlightenment. Don't miss out on the opportunity to connect with some of the most talented and compelling voices in literature today. Tune in and let the journey begin.
Hello and welcome to the Hollis Chapman Show. I'm Hollis. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Hey, we're very excited. Today's our first guest in our new campaign. And we're starting off, we're going to have 2 months of full 3 or 4 days a week of shows. So excited. Our first guest is a writer, entertainment industry jack of all trades. I want to ask him what that means. He is a son of the best selling novelist, Louis L'Amour. And he has managed his father's literary estate since 1988. And boy, does he have an estate when it comes to what he did. Okay, so without further ado, so let's welcome to our show our special guest, Beau L'Amour. All right, sir, you're live. You're ready to go.
Fantastic. Good morning. It's fantastic to be with you.
Thank you very much, sir. It's a little, as a father, and you do what you do. It's so I'd be so proud. I mean, your father would be so proud. You carry on,
Thank you.
yeah, carry on a legacy, stuff like that. I'm working hard to maybe my son can carry on my legacy, stuff like that. So, congrats to you though, and doing some great things. Tell the listeners more about yourself and your books you're doing and the stuff you do to carry on the legacy of your father.
I was a kid that went to art school. I went to California Institute of the Arts. I wanted to be a filmmaker. I worked in
Mm.
the motion picture business for a number of years, on and off at different times. And I also started working in publishing. Some of that gave me some good background in art direction and editorial work and things like that. And along with a certain amount of education in sound recording and things like that. So I also was involved in the early uh, aspects of the audio publishing business. And my dad passed away in 1988 and left behind an incredible amount of stuff, but our business was completely organized around whatever new book he was writing, and the tail of the dog, so to speak, was somewhat disorganized, and so I jumped in and have been trying to make as much sense of it as I can ever since.
Outstanding. As a young person growing up and being an author and novelist, some of that, you kind of lonely by yourself. When did you realize, well, your dad is doing some great stuff? Was it when you started in '88, or was it before then when you're saying, wow, my dad can really write? He can put some great stuff together. He can really put the pen to the paper. Was there a time you did that before you really jumped into it?
I think, like a lot of people, I found his writing entertaining
Hmm.
prior to the time that I really started working with it. But working with it and working with the public and working with the publishers, I began to recognize that there was a certain amount of kind of magic there. I mean, it was a style of writing that he trained himself in, and to a great extent, I think his secret was to never write too much. There are writers that overwrite. I have to say, I'm always fighting that tendency in myself. And what he did was he formed a partnership with the reader, where the reader was, almost doing half the work. And that means it's a very visceral experience for the reader. My dad would give a couple of hints as to a location or what a character was like, but then the reader gets the chance to really create that in their own mind. And so a lot of his writing and a lot of the writing of his generation, writers that came out of the pulp magazines, that started in the pulp magazines, had that wonderful tendency to not overwrite things.
Can you give an example of that? 'Cause I love what that. Well, I love that. So, what does it mean? Because I do the same thing about the show. Oh, Hollis, why don't you do the show longer? Well, because I want people to learn more about you. I want people to learn more about what you done. It's not about me talking on the show, but I want to leave them wanting more. What is it when you did? I want them to want more. I want them to be really intrigued. I want them to follow up, to sit there and learn more about Beau and his legacy. Is that the same thing with the dad?
To a certain extent, I mean, this aspect of writing, is just. I think the idea is you want to very much kind of what I was saying before. You want to activate the audience's
Yeah,
imagination rather than doing all the work for them.
yeah.
And it's very common in your kind of classier forms of literature, to write absolutely everything, and also to write in quite beautiful sentences, beautiful prose, but that sort of takes you out of the experience. I could make an analogy in
Hmm.
film. When you see a director who's kind of always showing off, Orson Welles, Alfred Hitchcock, sometimes Martin Scorsese, moving the camera a lot, things like this. And then you see a director like David Lean or Steven Spielberg or John Ford, who just kind of lets the scene play out.
Hmm.
The one isn't imposing themselves as a lens or a medium between the audience and the content of the story. And I think that's probably the magic that lurks there.
Beautiful. Well said. Okay, so Lost Treasures. Your dad behind Louis Armstrong Lost Treasures in a process uncovering these hidden gems. So talk about the Lost Treasures and the
So,
process. Yeah.
so Lost Treasures was actually a. Well, I'll back up a little bit. When my dad passed away, he left behind a very large office that was about hip deep in loose paper and
Wow.
magazines and books. And there was a little trail that went from the door that kind of went to an area where he could roll his chair around. And then over on one side of the room, there was a couch, and there was sort of a trail that led in that direction. But eventually, the couch got covered, and the trail kind of filled in, and it was an awful lot of loose, disorganized
Mm.
stuff. And so when my dad passed away, it was a job of a couple of years to sort out what all of that was. Some of it was correspondence, some of it was stories that we knew what they were, some of it was stories that we didn't know what they were. And for the next many years, we published a number of books of short stories based on things that we had found in that. But then there was another category of things, which was the notes about stories that already existed, beginnings of stories that existed in another form, or beginnings of stories that were never finished.
Mm.
And for a long time, we didn't quite know what to do with that. And then, and this is a very inside publishing sort of thing, we got notice from the publisher, got notice from Walmart that they were, which is a big point of sale for us,
Mm.
uh, that they were considering removing us from the book section in Walmart because we hadn't had anything new in a while. And the publisher came to me and said, well, what can you do? Can we do new covers? Can we do this? Can we do that? I was like, I've got the perfect thing. I'm going to do bonus features. I'm going to do behind the scenes, the story behind many of the stories that my dad wrote. And actually, if you take the entire Lost Treasures series, it becomes